Hey everybody, this is Ty from Tennessee. I am an IT professional and a motorcycle enthusiast, and what I do on this channel, I try to create motorcycle content that you guys will enjoy and that I have fun making and putting together and that type of thing. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you like this video. Check out some others of mine if you get a chance. Alright, so I've been working with some side footage on something, and my buddy Eric in front of me on the Blue Road Glide, well, he and I have been riding today, and we're on our way back to Chattanooga, and I thought, you know, this just might be a great time to take advantage of the situation and record my next video. So that's what I'm going to do. And what I want to talk to you guys about and get your feedback from in the comments is, you know, what are your motorcycle influences? So I want to hear from you guys about what your influences are and tell you a little bit about mine. There's definitely more than one. There's many. I made a small list. The first thing that I think about with my influence in my personal life is, man, I remember I was probably, I don't know exactly, but I'm just going to guess, maybe somewhere in the age of 5 to 7, let's say. And my dad, he had this old Honda, and I've done some Google searches, and best I can find out, it looked something like this. And I'm not sure what type of Honda it was, or even if it was a Honda, to be perfectly honest with you. But you know, the way those gauges stuck out in my mind, and there was the different colors as far as maybe the gears, and you know, maybe there was an oil light or a headlight, you know, high beam, low beam. But I remember seeing in my mind, you know, those lights light up, and I thought it was so cool. And what he did is he actually took me and put me, you know, in his lap, so I was sitting in front of him, and he would ride me around on his motorcycle. You know, now they would hang you for something like that, but back then he was able to do that. And really, I just remember him taking me around where my grandparents lived and just going for a little ride in the neighborhood. But man, I thought that was the absolute coolest thing. And still to this day, you know, I can remember the way the motorcycle, you know, smelt and the way it sounded, and I just thought it was so neat. And now, even when I put, you know, after some time riding, a day of riding, whenever I put my bike in the garage at home and I open that door, I can still, it reminds me of that every single time. It's so cool. And that was just a huge influence to me, because it was just so neat. It was just one of those situations when you're a child, it just made an impression on me. And while we're on the subject of childhood, what about Saturday morning cartoons, right? How many of you guys were influenced not only with motorcycles but in anything by Saturday morning cartoons? Kids these days will never understand the absolute joy of Saturday morning cartoons. Oh my gosh, I still miss it. So I went back on YouTube. I had to do a little bit of digging. These weren't completely fresh in my mind, but there was I think the Chopper Group and Speed Buggy or something like that.
Here we go. After him, gang. Wait for me!
And not only that, there was another Saturday morning cartoon that I thought was so cool. It was this guy, he traveled with this little girl and his best friend that was a mechanic. His name was Devlin, and he did these stunts, and they were either like a traveling stunt show or a circus or something like that. And he would always do these real cool motorcycle jumps and stunts, and I just loved it as a kid. I thought it was the coolest thing I had ever seen. You know, it was a blatant Evel Knievel ripoff, but it was so entertaining, and it made such an impression on me. when I was a kid about motorcycles. And what about Evel Knievel, man? I mean, how could he have not made an impression on you if you ride motorcycles and you're in your 40s or 50s or whatever? I mean, my goodness, I even asked my daughter the other day, you know, hey, do you even know who Evel Knievel is? And she looked at me like I was crazy. Yes, Dad, I know who Evel Knievel is. And so I remembered that I had this Evel Knievel toy with a jump and the van and the truck and all this other stuff. And you know, in the original box from sometime in the 70s, it had to have been, and it was so cool. So when I was thinking about putting this video together, I wanted to do something that was just a little fun. So here's my tribute to Evel Knievel. Hello everybody, and welcome to Evel Knievel's Jump, live at the Cooper residence. Would you just look at the concentration on this man's face? And off he goes. Alright, let's fast forward to the preteen or teenage years. And, you know, the movie Grease had already come out, had a cult type of following. Everybody loves the movie Grease. And then they released Grease 2. And I am a useless wealth of knowledge when it comes to 80s movies and trivia and TV and useless stuff like that. And I loved the movie Grease 2. If you haven't seen Grease 2, you probably should watch it, just so you have a point of reference what I'm talking about here. But Michelle Pfeiffer was in it, and there was this dude that was riding a motorcycle, and he was trying to impress the girl, and it was so cool. He built it by hand and learned to ride it, and you know, had to bust up these other guys that were on motorcycles so she would fall in love with him. And it was just awesome and made a fantastic impression on me of how cool motorcycles were. And if you wanted to be cool, and if you wanted to get the girl, you had to get a motorcycle. And I've got one other influence that I wanted to share with you guys. Probably the movie that turned me on to technology and how cool computers are and how cool they can be and all the different things they can do. And that's the 80s movie Tron. Now, while Tron did not specifically have motorcycles in it, it did have light cycles. And light cycles were awesome. And I had just about every Tron toy that they probably made. I drew Tron pictures. I loved those light cycles. They were so stinking neat. And that was just the coolest thing in the world for me. But the light cycles were one of those things that just made the whole movie for me. Okay guys, that is most of my motorcycle influences in my life and what led me to ride motorcycles. I would like to know the same with you guys. What type of influences have there been in your life and what led you to ride motorcycles? If you guys would, please take the time and list those out in the comments below. I'd love to hear different people's perspectives on the situation and see what you guys think. So if you guys would, especially if you have liked this video, please click the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please feel free to do so. Click that notification bell so you'll be aware of new content when I upload it. And thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys have a terrific day, and we'll talk to you again soon.